watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and I have a very special guest in studio with me today. She's been on the show a couple times via Zoom, and she has given us lots of guests through her program, her company called WIT, which is a nonprofit organization, right? That sponsors and helps grow teen entrepreneurs through mentorship programs and classes, and it's just an incredible organization that I love. And I have known this guest since I don't even know. We were young, grade school,
yeah, grade
I think.
School.
Welcome to the studio, Sarah Hernholm.
Hi.
Hi. I mean, I really think grade school.
Francis Parker. Yes.
On the playground.
Yes, we've known each other for a long time. We've done some theater together.
We did theater as adults.
As adults.
Yes.
So this is so fun to be here in studio for my first time in studio. I'm so excited.
And I think, sometimes social media drives me nuts and I don't love it, but one thing I love it for is connecting with old friends. And I remember, you and I friended each other years ago, and I saw what you were doing, and I've just loved it. I've watched it from afar. And then when I started working on the show, I thought we have to have her on because we are a business program for Business Network, and I know you foster these teen entrepreneurs, and we've had so many on the show, and I am always in awe of how articulate they are and how driven and the foresight all of them have. So I just want to talk to you about, first of all, how you even came. I think you've told the story on the show, but I want to go back to that. How you even started WIT.
Well, I'll give the fast version.
Okay.
So the Cliff Note version, and this can give hope to the people that might be having a setback in their career right now or kind of wondering what's next for themselves. I was a school teacher. I had been laid off 4 years in a row, and that fourth year in a row after budget cuts, I wasn't going to be able to come back. I launched this.
Okay.
And that was over a decade ago. And so it's just important to know that sometimes life will throw a setback in your way and maybe even like put a wall up, but there's another way, there's a door, a different direction. And so WIT came from my experience being a school teacher and realizing that young people.
What grade did you teach?
I taught, oh my gosh, preschool, kindergarten, first, fourth, fifth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I loved it. I would still be a teacher. I loved it. I loved my kids.
Well, you kind of are.
Yes, I'm a little jealous with all the back to school energy right now, and like just getting your classroom together. I used to love doing that. But my classroom motto was whatever it takes. We were very big on what we called back then service learning. So having projects where our young people would learn how to give back. And I'm also very into applying what you learn immediately. So if you're learning something about math, then you should apply it immediately to something in the real world, because I hated learning things in school and feeling like I will never use this.
Well, this is so important. I'm going to just completely sidebar for 1 second because I have teens, and I've talked to you about this, and I think I want to introduce my teen Lily to you. And she's at the age where people are asking her, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And she says, "I have no idea." And I remember thinking that too. I still think that, but that's a whole other conversation. But and I think I was up at 3 a.m. thinking about this. I said, there's nothing in our school system that prepares kids. You're learning math. You're learning these random rock formations and whatever it may be, But how does that apply to a career, and how do you know what you want to do? So what you are talking about is exactly what we need.
Yes, I believe so strongly that not everybody will be an entrepreneur, but everybody can benefit from living with an entrepreneurial mindset. That means you're somebody who's solution-oriented. That means that you're a victor in your life, not a victim. And those are things that you'll use whether you are running a company, or you're the person that's leading a department in a company, or you're running a household, like whatever it is that you're doing, but being an entrepreneurial-minded person is important.
Yes.
And understanding.
So what were the things you said to be victor, not victim?
Victim, yeah, huge. Big.
Yes.
And then to be solution-oriented versus problem-focused. So we know all those people that all they do is they come to the table with the problems.
Yes.
I can catch myself doing that. So we all have that in us. We all have it.
It's just how quickly we bounce out of it.
Get out of it, right?
We're not responsible for our first thought. Have you heard that phrase?
My therapist tells me.
We're going to segue to therapy for a minute, but
tells me the third one, Sarah. Start with the third thought, because the first and second are not your best friends.
Right.
Let's go to the third.
I always talk about my necklace. It's a pause button, because we don't need to act on that first or even second thought.
Yes.
And because sometimes they're a pity party. They are problem oriented. They are those things of knee-jerk reactions of defensive or whatever. But then it's
or blame.
Blame.
The blame is a big one, and kids want to blame like their parents or their teacher or the system or the this or the homework. And we say, okay, let's go back to how many choices you actually have every single day. You have the choice of what you put, usually like how you dress, even if it's a uniform, how you're going to wear your uniform.
Yep.
If you're on social media, what are you posting? What are you liking? What are you saying? If you're in a conversation with somebody in the hallways.
Do you talk about that a lot with these teens?
Oh, so for me, WIT is just the vehicle that we're teaching emotional intelligence, but through entrepreneurship. So we want young people to develop their EQ more than their IQ.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like EQ is very important in the world, and we want our young people to understand empathy, social skills, self-awareness, and entrepreneurship, as you know, as an entrepreneur yourself, that teaches you those things.
Right.
And those are the things that you really will get you far in life. But we want them to feel empowered. And launching your own business is empowering and scary.
Yes.
And there's failure.
Right.
And schools do not let you fail. You need to fail in life to build the muscle of grit, to build the muscle of resilience and fortitude. You don't learn fortitude and grit by reading about it.
Right.
You learn it by getting knocked on your
and having
face.
a dumb idea every once in a while, or trying something and that sucked. 100%. That was terrible.
Or I fell on my face and like
so
that.
So you give them this culture and this environment where they can fail in a safe space.
And we expect them, like we have interns that I say to them, you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But we have these 11 tips for doing WIT, and one of them is own it. And I said, but the thing that you're going to learn how to do is own it. Because that's where you get your power back.
And it's the hardest thing to do, but it's the best feeling.
I know. Because you want to be like, well, Miss H didn't tell me ahead of time, or my alarm didn't go off, or I had a big test. I'm like, fine. And also, what's your role in it?
Right.
Because then you can actually adjust for next time.
Right.
And then you can actually do things differently. And then your power's back. And it's not everybody else's fault.
Right.
And just maybe you could take some.
My daughter was ordering food the other day, and she forgot to order a sandwich for her sister because the sister wasn't there at the house when we were ordering, but we were going to the beach, all three of us. And so I got there, I was like, there's 2 sandwiches. She's like, well, you didn't tell me to order one for Lexi. And I think, she's like, what? But it was the first thing to do.
The first thing.
Yeah.
Because we're also, a lot of pressure is put on young people to have the right answer and to do the right thing all the time. Right. So of course the knee-jerk reaction is defensive. Yeah. But what if you can have a space where we say, yeah, you probably are going to mess up. Yeah. So admit it, and then maybe I can even help you, and then maybe we can actually find a win from that mistake.
Can you also do these classes for adults? That's what I want.
Yeah, okay.
I could take a class, yes.
But here's the thing about adults. Adults like to hold on to their stories and their resentments and their issues and their excuses longer than young people. True. Young people, if you come to them and you look in their eyes and you tell them, like, I believe in you, you have greatness in you, I'm here to help you bring it out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, maybe maybe it's true.
Yeah.
Like this person, random woman, like believes in me. Okay.
Well, it's really important for someone that's not their parent or their auntie or somebody
for sure.
to do that because they can trust you, they listen to you, you are still cool, you don't have the dork, geeky, lame factor that a mom has.
Yeah.
I mean, their own mom.
They do. And some of them still think that I'm, all the things, but I get my street cred from, I used to work in film and TV, as you know, and last movie I did was Elf, so I always remind them of that when I first meet them.
Best Christmas movie ever is Elf. What did you do on Elf?
I worked with John Favreau, the director. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that gets their attention when they first meet me. They're like, okay, maybe she's not like totally lame.
Mine's Bring It On. I worked on Bring It On.
See, like, so you have to have like something.
Totally. It has to be cool. So did he. He was on Bring It On too, Jason. So I want to talk about, so you started this years ago, and what was, how many, do you have an enrollment process or an application process that the kids have to go through? What does that entail?
Everything is application based, whether it's for our hackathons, our college credit courses. We're actually doing a pitch competition at Kendra Scott in the fall. That has an application process.
Okay.
So all those things are on our website, doingwit.org. So you can apply to take a college credit course in the fall. That's entrepreneurship, PR and marketing. And I just want to say that all of our classes are taught by entrepreneurs.
And are they in person or online?
The college classes are virtual, they're online, and the hackathons and things like that are in person. And the pitch event at Kendra is in person.
So because I believe I interviewed a gal that lives in India.
Yes,
I interviewed someone.
We have them all over. Yep.
Yes. So these classes are virtual, so people from all over
so
the world
that you can meet people. See, we feel really isolated and alone sometimes.
Yes.
That doesn't
Especially
matter.
coming out of COVID.
Yes, and also just in life. Like people feel like their feelings are very unique and special, and they're special, but like they're not always unique. Other people feel.
We're all special, but
we feel these feelings. And when you're in a class with somebody from Texas, somebody from Sweden, somebody from India, and you're coming together and you're launching businesses and you're feeling insecure about something or you're feeling like you're not enough, guess what? So did that other person.
Think that too.
And so now we have this thing in common, but now we can grow through it and we can do, as we say, do WIT and get the other side of that.
Do it. I love it.
Do whatever it takes.
Okay, we've got to take a break, but we stick around for another segment.
Of course.
Okay,
I'll always
I've
hang
got
out
lots
with you.
of questions for you. We've got Sarah Hernholm here of doingwit.org. So we can check you out on social media. It's Doing Wit also. On Instagram, you have a Facebook and a Twitter. Awesome. And we're at America Trends TV on social media, and we'll be right back right after this.